gentle breeze. Grateful heart with such sweet ease. Thank you, Lord, for every breath I take, for the love that heals and the joy you make in the tapestry of life. I see your grace, every moment filled with your warm embrace. Through valleys deep and mountains high, your faith a beacon in the sky.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is time to rise and shine if you can. It's one more day, one more above the ground. And the ground's not above you. So that's a good place to be. Good morning. You know what time it is? It is time for our daily bread, a word from on high, something that'll change your perspective. I'll give you a new one. But either way, it's good for the soul. Good morning to you. Next up, it is our daily bread. And we'll come back with the conversations of the day if you guys decide to stick around. If not, I still love you. Not a problem. Only show in town, though, where you can actually say what you want to say. Some of y'all say too much sometimes, but that's okay. That's the way it goes. This is America for the time being. For the time being, it's still America. And I shall return uno momento after this brief word from our daily bread. But as you rise and shine this morning, it is 79 degrees, believe me, already. For the rest of the day, sunshine to start, then a few afternoon clouds here and there, stray shower too if possible, or even a thunderstorm. So just be reminded of that. Tonight, 15% chance of precipitation, and about the same as it was last night. On tomorrow, a 40% chance of rain with clouds mixed. Other than that, though, it's a pretty good day. Next up, our daily bread. Be back.
No calamity is beyond God's sovereignty.
Our Daily Bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by Philip Yancey. We can find nearly every argument in the book of Job about why there is pain in the world, but the arguing never seems to help Job much. His is a crisis of relationship more than a crisis of doubt. Can he trust God? Job wants one thing above all else, an appearance by the one person who can explain his miserable fate. He wants to meet God himself, face to face. Eventually, Job gets his wish. God shows up in person. He times his entrance with perfect irony, just as Job's friend Elihu is expounding on why Job has no right to expect a visit from God. No one, not Job, nor any of his friends, is prepared for what God has to say. Job has saved up a long list of questions, but in Job 38, it is God, not Job, who asks the questions. Brace yourself like a man, he begins. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Brushing aside 35 chapters worth of debates on the problem of pain, God plunges into a majestic poem on the wonders of the natural world. God's speech defines the vast difference between the God of all creation and one puny man like Job. His presence spectacularly answers Job's biggest question: is anybody out there? Job can only respond, surely I spoke of things I do not understand, things too wonderful for me to know. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Job 38, 1 through 11. Who is this that obscures my plans with words without knowledge? Brace yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me if you understand. Who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. Who stretched a measuring line across it? On what were its footings set, or who laid its cornerstone? While the morning stars sang together, and all the angels shouted for joy. Who shut up the sea behind doors, when it burst forth from the womb, when I made the clouds its garment, and wrapped it in thick darkness? When I fixed limits for it, and set its doors and bars in place? When I said, this far you may come, and no farther. Here is where your proud waves halt. Let's pray. Lord, we have so many questions about life and its unfairness. You have shown yourself good to us. Help us to trust you for what we cannot understand. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
We got you. We got you. I like to listen to that every morning. It kind of puts life in perspective, doesn't it? Yeah, I looked in the newspaper this morning. Somebody, not the newspaper, but the online news, and somebody's whining about their kids being out on the USS something for longer than they were supposed to be. Really? So you run the military now? I'm not saying nothing, but it's called the U.S. military for a reason. You got to get out there, and if you got to stay longer than you have to stay, guess what? You got to stay longer than you got to stay. That's not. I mean, we're free and you're free. We're not charging you to late. We're paying you and everything like that. So it's called it's called the Navy for a reason, which is why I didn't want to be in it, because I don't want to be stuck in the middle of the ocean on a ship either. However, we make our choices, right? We make our choices, and we are glad that that young folks are doing that, and hopefully for generations to come, there'll be kids out there that are willing to protect this nation as long as we have one. But parents, we want them to be grown folks, don't we? We want them to grow up and do their own thing. So stop whining because they happen to be on a ship for a long time. Okay. Now they're going against Hexeth. I think Hexeth was probably one of the best Secretary of Defenses we've had in a long time. He got a set. I'm just saying he's got a set, and so okay. Can we stop the whining nowadays? My Lord, it's called the Armed Forces of the United States for a reason, because they are armed and they are a force. Okay. But what good is being armed and being a force if you're sitting at home sleeping late in your bed? Okay, so stop whining. Okay, stop whining. There have been many, many, many young men and women who have sacrificed time, liberty, and life to serve this nation. If they got to stay a little longer than they got to stay, hey, that's just the way it goes sometimes. That's the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so. Now that I've got that off my chest, okay. Now that I got that off my chest, I'm good. Now I'm good. Okay. What's on you people's mind out there? This one app is really kind of getting on my nerve a little bit. The neighborhood, what's it called? Next Door. They're kind of getting on my nerve. They really are. When you go to Next Door. Well, I'm not really getting on my nerve, but they're a little coward. They're cowardly a little bit, the Next Door people, because I've invited them on this platform to ask me in person questions they want to ask me about my stance on policies or politics, whatever you want to do, and that not one has even showed up yet. But boy, they'll get over there with the magic keyboard and just insult you and call you all kind of names. I just said, what a wuss. See, I have no respect for people who hide behind a keyboard. I just don't. What I mean, and if you're gonna hide behind a keyboard, then let people know who you are, like I do. Okay. Zia's at home. Hey, you know what? And I'm absolutely okay if he gets called up. He will be carrying on a tradition in this family that I started. It is what you do. Okay, he's not jumping out of the airplane. I can't get him to jump out of airplanes or anything like that. But do you think I don't want the best for my child? Absolutely. You think I want my child hurt? Absolutely not. You think that it would not somehow crush me if something happened to my son? Absolutely. But it's the job. It's the job he decided to do, and he's not the only one. He's not the only one. A lot of people's kids. I think he'd win. He's not the only child whose life is in peril if he has to go. I took a couple of chances myself. It is what we do as soldiers. When we are airmen and Marines and National Guard and what's those guys that roll around in the water, Coast Guard. It is what we do. And you better have a great understanding of that when you join. Now, me personally, I tried to get him to join the Air Force, but the Air Force told me that day that the Army has more technological jobs than the Air Force does. I said, really? I mean, you wouldn't believe that. They go up in the air with them big old silver planes and they do all kind of topsy-turvy tricks and all that stuff. And you're thinking, no, the United States Army has more technological jobs than the Air Force does. I said, wow. So that's what he chose. Stop telling how you shouldn't complain at all. You shouldn't complain at all. Okay, those are not your children anymore. They're still your sons and your daughters, but they're not kids anymore. They're old enough to make their own minds up about what it is they want to do. Some decide to play football. You know, it's probably more dangerous running down a football field than there is being in the military. You can get a concussion in a minute. You can actually die. Get your leg broke. Get your arm broke. But we sure like to see them going up and down that field, don't we? Yes, we do. And we don't be thinking about them getting hurt. We just want to make sure they can make it through high school, junior high school, college, and the pros so they can bring home that big money. Mm-hmm. While other people's sons and daughters take a more noble approach, and they go in the military to protect this nation. We don't get all the glamour. We don't get all the money, but we sure do get something out of it that they'll never know, and that's fine. Everybody picks their path where they like to go. When you birth them, they will be your children until death. They will be your sons and daughters until death. And that's the problem. And that's why we got a military. Because mama will treat them like they children for the rest of their lives, and they're not. They're not children. They are your sons and your daughters. They are not children. Okay? I'm just saying. It takes the compassion of being, give me a break. Let me go get some. Let me drink. Y'all look at this ain't liquor. I'd be drunk right now. And that's one of the reasons why women should not raise boys. At least not by themselves anyway. These are the warriors. It takes compassion of being able to understand someone else's living conditions. Pray for our military service members, and God will soon provide what they need. He always has, and he always will. But it's military service for a reason. It doesn't say comfort zone. It says military service. That's what it is. And there will be hardships. If you're in the Army, you'll be in the snow, the mud. You'll be sleeping under trucks. You'll be sleeping under pup tents with two people laying in there, get in the mud, getting wet, air mattresses in the dark, on patrols late at night. Some nights not even getting any sleep. Not at all. And sometimes you go up to 48 hours. Listen, it's the military. Okay? Okay? It's the military. And that's what it is. It's not comfort zone. It's not for your comfort. Okay? And America, even though we do try to be nice when we fight wars, war is not nice. It is not nice at all. It's scary. It's scary. I never will forget the day that the Grenada thing happened, and they at Bragg, because I was at Fort Bragg with the 82nd Airborne then, and my whole perspective on what I was doing changed that day. So listen, let's not whine about it, okay? Okay, let's not whine, okay? Although we have got into pillow fights too in the barracks, we have, and sometimes we get into regular fights in the barracks. Stress does things for it. I'm just saying, so all these parents whining about that. My son's been out doing this shit for longer than they said it was going to be. Boo hoo, boo hoo. Okay, we paying him. He getting paid for it. I mean, you can't be in the Navy and be at home. That's why they call it the Navy. You're on a ship. Give me a break. Although I know some people have been in the Navy for a long time, never been on a ship. But moving right along to other things. See, I expect, some people to do that, to think that way, and probably never been in, and I ain't mad at you at all. Being human is the most important. Yes, always your children, but not your kid. Absolutely, First Sergeant. Absolutely, always your child, but they're not kids. They're grown people. Always your sons. Always your daughter. Always whatever, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, whatever the case may be. But long as they wear that uniform, they don't belong to you right now. Okay, That the word government issue, the word government issue is out there for a reason. When we start paying you, start feeding you, I think isn't that what parents do? We feed you, we we give you some clothes to wear. Hell, you don't even have to buy clothes anymore once you join. You get to wear the same clothes all the time, and nobody's going to say anything about it. I mean, so yeah, it's all right. It's good. I'm just saying, yeah, leave Hexeth alone. I think that man is doing an outstanding job with our military. He's getting rid of the Pride Month. Outstanding with that. I don't care what you do when you go off base or whatever. I don't care how you do it, what position you in, and any of that crap. That's got nothing to do with the military. Okay, so I'm glad he got rid of that. A government issue, absolutely outstanding, and that's and they mean that. Okay, always a child of God, absolutely. I was up. Well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that later on. Anyway, good morning. How's everybody doing? How's everyone doing? I went out. I hung out yesterday in I hung out. Where did I hang out yesterday at? I hung out at. Well, I'll tell you about that in a second. To show you that even smart people have issues. I have to share this story with you. One thing. There's a Montgomery police officer got arrested and relieved of duty because she must have been mad at somebody. But I want to say something about this. Policemen, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, they work under tremendous stress. They work under tremendous stress. I think it's totally unfair if they have a domestic issue, and that's anybody. I don't think anybody should have their personal failures splattered all over the newspaper. I just don't think so. When it's all said and done, I'm good to tell people what happened and things of that nature. But it's a tough job. Things happen, and I just don't think it's fair to put people's personal business, their failures in the newspaper, their name and all that stuff like that. I just don't think it's I don't think it's a good thing. I mean, I know they're public servants, but they're still human beings. They're still human beings. I mean, I can understand if you robbed a bank or something like that. Okay, so be it. So be it. But that's not the case here. Sometimes things happen at home, and it's just hard on people sometimes. Especially when you do a job such as policing, soldiering, being firemen, and things of that nature. Those are tough jobs, and it just seemed like to me that we could give them some grace when things like that happen, and we should not go around putting it all in the newspaper and stuff like that. I just think that's I think that kind of sucks, actually, to tell you the truth. Oh, well, anyway, moving right along. Something happened to my computer there. I don't know what it is, but every once in a while you have those things. Okay, well, maybe somebody will come up. Hexeth is a complete and listen, and everybody has their opinion about Hexeth, and the president too. As a matter of fact, now I will admit to you, the president's kind of getting through. But do we really want to kill a bunch of civilians? I don't want to see that. That's what we did with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Almost 750,000 people died either directly or indirectly because of those atom bombs. That's a hell of a price to pay, even though they started it. Yes, Don.
Am I being heard by everyone?
I think you are.
My 5 minutes. I got to go to the doctor and have my My endocrinologist checked me over. Hey, when you was at Fort Bragg, did you have the AA patch?
Of course, I had the AA patch.
How come they don't show it on your cook uniform on your picture?
Because they don't have patches on the uniforms. Well, in the Rangers we did.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, but let's move on. Hey, yesterday you brought up the girl on the cop hitter. You were gonna kick his ass and all that.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Why do you guys think that my MOS is somehow insignificant to yours?
Because you didn't. I don't even want to. Everybody got a brain can make their own.
I'm just
make up their
asking you,
own mind.
why do you think?
Because you're assigned to a base and you're a cook, don't make you a member of the 82nd.
I was with the 82nd, 34th ADA.
Well, it doesn't make you a member. It's like I'd ask my friend.
Yes, it does.
My friend who was a ranger. He said he wouldn't have nothing to do with people like you if you did not train with them every day. It's amazing you never talk about cooking.
Every day, because I hated the job.
How do you cook if you're training with them?
And you know why?
How do you cook if you're out training?
Do you know?
Because anybody can make up their mind whether they think you.
I want to settle this once. I want to settle this once and for all. For you are a fool if you think that.
No, you're a damn lying fool.
That the Pac-Man, the guy who works in the medical field, the guy is the medic part of a unit when he gets there. Of course he is. We all got.
No, I'm part of the base.
I wasn't part of the damn base. I was part of the 2nd and 75th Ranger Brigade.
I don't consider my.
I was part of.
You were a cook on a base.
I was not just a cook.
Jump out of planes. You didn't. Come on, let's move on. Anybody can make up their mind if you're lying. I'm going to talk about the cop you were going to kick his ass yesterday.
Wait. See, that's the reason why I don't really talk about it. Because for some reason, you idiots out there think that I didn't do the same thing.
Is Willie Durham an idiot?
Willie Durham ain't never said nothing like that.
Willie Durham an idiot?
No, not like you.
He doesn't think you jumped out of a plane.
That's a lie.
Okay, let's see Willie say that.
I'm sure he'll say it. I mean,
Willie, say it. Say you know that Kevin jumped out of a plane.
What makes you think?
Go ahead, Willie.
Wait. Yeah, put it on. What makes you think I didn't?
Because you lie about everything. You put that crap on Facebook.
Oh, Lord.
It was an absolute lie.
Listen, tell me. Well, what is your other question that makes a little sense?
I wanted to talk about the police officer.
What about it?
Well, you said you're going to kick his ass, but you show about a 10-second video of that. Actually, I went online because I always question crap like that. It's actually like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
This girl was in the left-hand lane.
You're talking about the police officer that threw that girl on the ground and beat her in the face.
I'm going to try to, but you're going to inject so I can't.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I want people to know the truth about the story.
I don't care what story. He didn't have to hit that woman in the face with his fist.
See, why the hell I call in? You're going to run your mouth, or you're going to let me tell the story. I watched it. Did you watch the hour-long video?
I don't care. He had no business hitting her in the face. I don't care what.
Shut up for 1 minute and let me talk, or you just want me to go ahead?
There is no reasonable excuse.
Can I just go ahead and hang up or not?
A big-ass man like that.
Can I hang up?
On the ground. Had no business doing it.
You don't know what you're talking about?
Yeah,
you give me about 5 minutes.
All right, go ahead.
This girl was in the fast lane with her emergency blinkers on and passed a cop going more than 20 miles an hour. He pulls her over. He's always polite for the whole hour to this girl. He looks into her car. He asked what the emergency was. She said her window wasn't working. So she's going 20 miles an hour over the thing. She doesn't have a seatbelt on. And beside her is a cold alcoholic beverage.
I know all that.
She's less than 21.
I know all that.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Because he told us.
Shut up. Just shut up, damn it.
Because you're lying. He said you're not 20. You're not even 21 years old yet. It still did not make any sense for a grown man that big to hit a child in the face with his fist. A female, after throwing her on the ground. It made no sense. And I wish there had been somebody that put their foot up his tail. Right? It made no sense. It's a shame and a disgrace what that officer did. Okay. Now, she was wrong for talking back and tearing up the ticket, but you know what? Tearing up the ticket, I don't think it's a felony or anything like that. Okay. So I don't care what you say. He had, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what we're talking about, and I showed it yesterday because it bothered me that we have law enforcement officers who oh, get rid of let me get rid of that right quick. Okay. Okay. Get rid of that right quick. But anyway, okay. However this goes. Anyway, he shouldn't have done what he did. I don't care what this guy's saying. Okay. Now, I thought you hung up.
I did, but are you going to let me tell the story of without injecting crap that is wrong?
But we saw it.
But no, you didn't. It's an hour-long video.
Hitting her in the face had
shut up
nothing
and
to
let
do
me
with
tell
that.
the people what really happened.
All right.
Will you just shut up and let me tell them what happened?
Yeah. All right. Well, go ahead.
Okay.
If you think.
Here's what happened.
Mhm.
So he pulls up. He's very nice. He asks the girl why is she speeding, and she said something about a window. He says that doesn't give you the right to speed. And why don't you have your seatbelt on? And why do you have this? You're not even 21. Why do you have a bottle of alcohol sitting beside you? So he goes back and he checks her record. 3 days earlier, she'd already been arrested for speeding with an open container in the thing.
Mhm.
So he goes to her.
Yeah.
He tells her, I have to write you 2 or 3 tickets. He says one of them is a minor in possession, requires me to take your license and you sign this form and it acts as a temporary license. And he hands it to her. Instead of signing it and going on her way, she throws the damn clipboard at him.
Yep, I know.
No, shut up and let me tell it.
I
okay?
know what she did.
Shut up.
He was wrong.
Shut up.
He was wrong. And if you want to know what we're talking about, I'll show you in a minute. Okay. That officer was wrong. Yes. Hello.
Hello. Listen, you don't have to argue about that. Go to the NBC News yesterday. The commanding officer of that state trooper is reviewing that case because he says that's not one of their procedures, how to handle that situation. So go to the news, yesterday news. I'm not in the position right now to pull it up and send it to you.
Yeah.
And they're investigating that. So you don't have to argue about that anymore.
No police officer had any business doing the way they treated that girl.
He said to his side, the same thing you were saying. He said that played a part in the way that situation was handled.
Yeah. All right, good. Appreciate it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show it to people who haven't seen it yet. I'll show it. I mean, this is what we're talking about. Yesterday, I put a video on of a police officer from Mississippi County, Arkansas. Anything with the word Mississippi in it can't be good. Okay, it just can't be good. Okay. Hold on, let me get okay, let me get a popo on here now. Good morning, Simply Days.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Well. We started the show off with a bang this morning, haven't we?
Well, that guy just a little bit tilted to the left. But anyway, have you seen the officer, the issue where the police officer in Mississippi County, Arkansas, stopped the girl, which is fine. He stopped her, said, "Hey, how come this liquor's in blah blah blah?" But when he got her out the car, he threw her to the ground and beat her in the face. A girl, big as he is. Have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's no way in the world he could justify what he did to that young lady. I don't care. I don't care what she wasn't fighting. At least in the video we seen, she wasn't fighting him. She was being somewhat resistant. Okay. So, okay. Who wouldn't be? but still, biggest.
Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? A lot of people get tickets every day.
Yeah.
And they don't resist. They follow a lawful command, and they go to court. They either plead their case, they pay their ticket, but they don't try to settle it on the street.
And teenagers, okay, let's just be honest. We all remember the past because we're grown now. We're older, we're more mature, we had more life experiences. But 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, you don't know anything. You're impetuous, you're emotional, especially women. They're emotional, but still, it did not deserve that big ass man to take her and throw her on the ground that way and get on top of her. And then on top of her, with his fist, hit her in the face.
Well, the court of public opinion is deciding this, but there's going to be accountability. There's going to be a formal investigation. There's going to be looked at this from different angles, not just law enforcement, and then there will be a finding of wrongdoing, either, and whether he loses his job, whether he's suspended, whatever will happen. But let me share with you an incident I had. Is a young officer, and I was in a coat and tie, and I was green, didn't know a whole lot, but I was in a coat and tie, and we'd arrested this lady on a warrant for writing bad checks. She'd written multiple bad checks, and she had a felony warrant. So we'd gone and picked her up, and she was a large woman, and larger than I was.
Okay.
But anyway, so we had her in the back seat of the car, and we made the fatal mistake I did of handcuffing her in the front rather than in the back. So as I get her out of the car at police headquarters, I come around. My partner's always walked towards the building because he figures I can handle it. So as I get her out of the car and I reach down, she bows up. She doesn't want to get out of the car because she knows what's coming. So I grab her by the arm and try to pull her, and then we get jammed in between the door, and the next thing I know, she's got her arm around my neck, she pulled me by my tie. That's how she gets me closer to her. She's pulled me by the tie, got me down, got me in a chokehold, and she didn't shave under her arms.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, I got all of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
Because I could feel it on my neck. That's how I know. And it was a hot summer day, and I could feel her sweat on my neck. Felt like sandpaper back there. I didn't have anything in my hands other than that piece of paper. And she was choking me good with my own tie. And that's when I realized you don't wear a tie, you wear a clip-on. So it'll pull off.
That'd be a good idea. Yes.
Yes. Well, I learned that the hard way. So she's got me in a chokehold, a ligature strangulation with a tie. And the only thing I could do was hit her right square in the face with my fist to get her to turn me loose.
And that makes sense. That makes sense. If she had you in that kind of situation, but that was still your fault. But that makes
still my fault.
Yeah, it makes sense. You gotta. I mean, hell, she's choking the hell out of you. I got you.
but there are situations when you have to use more force than you would want to or necessary. But anyway, that case is going to be handled through the proper channels after a formal investigation, and if he's found of wrongdoing, of criminal assault.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. I mean, on top of her, he's on top of her, heavy and big as he is, and then he says, "Who said I can't hit you in the face?" I mean,
he will be held accountable as he should be if he did wrongdoing.
If he did wrongdoing, I mean,
well,
you're on top of a young lady.
See, it's just like We watched these videos,
Yeah.
and just like with the video that we saw about the gentle giant, and they said, that he did this and he didn't, and when actually that wasn't the case. But anyway,
I'm with you.
That will be played out in a formal process, but we can all base our opinion on what we saw in that short video clip where they played it all with a
I do know initially he was sort of nice to her. He said, you're going to get a couple of tickets. I got that. And listen, I think but he went wrong. Just because you started out nice don't mean you ended up nice. But he was decent to her. And so I'm trying to figure out where did that decent behavior go?
Well, nobody's above the law. Nobody's below the law. Everybody will be held accountable as he should be after a cursory investigation.
Yeah.
And that's determined what occurred. But anyway, I got some good news and some bad news.
Well, give me the bad news first.
You don't want the good news?
No, the bad news. I need something to swallow it with, and that would be the good news. So
the bad news is we're one Montgomery police officer shorter today.
Somebody got hurt? Got killed?
Well, look on Channel 12. No, one got arrested for.
I saw that. Yeah, and I was talking about that. I was talking about that when I first came on. I don't think it's fair to put her all in the newspapers and all that stuff because we don't know what happened. And the fact of the matter is, police go through PTSD like everybody else does. It's a tough job, especially now. I think it's unfair to them when a job is such a stressful job. This guy wasn't stressed; he was on her. So I just think.
Well, we started the last academy that we had, the last graduation of Montgomery police officer. We graduated 5 in the class, even though Prattville had 7.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're down 1. Now we'll be down 1. So it seems like we can't ever make any headway or gains there.
Why do you think? And I please give me your honest opinion. Why do you think that we have all across America, just not Montgomery? Why do you believe that it's so difficult to fill a job that is one of the most noblest jobs in the history of this nation, being a police person? The most respected job, policemen, firemen have always. What happened? Why can't we get people to do the job?
It would take a whole show to talk about all of the dynamics that have gone on that have created this situation. And I mean, we just don't have time, but
Okay.
One day when we're off the air, I'll give you what I think are all the reasons that we're here where we are today. But anyway, let me give you the good news. The good news is that in August in 1936, a man from the state of Alabama went to Germany and won 4 gold medals.
Jesse Owens in that hot August day in Berlin. Adolf Hitler was there. Yeah.
Adolf Hitler was there.
Yeah.
And then he knew what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that Jesse Owens was getting ready to smoke the field, including his
superior German. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Superior Germans.
Mm-hmm.
And he left because he didn't want to watch what was getting ready to happen. But if anybody ever deserves a stamp or a monument,
yeah, absolutely.
Jesse Owens, he won not 1, but 4 gold medals that day. And that record stood for 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years.
And considering the conditions that he had to live, it's a shame. We will send our young men to war, to the Olympics, and where they get treated better than they did over here. And I understand, it was what it was, but it is surely disheartening for the way some of these old souls were treated in America. I and for the life of me, I still can't figure out how come why. I don't understand.
And think about it. He won those gold medals on a cinder track. He didn't have special shoes made for him. He didn't have the ability to digitally do simulation training. weight program, all that stuff that those athletes have today. He ran and won those on hot dogs in the USA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't have $600 running shoes like they have today.
No, sir.
You know? Like when I used to take PT in the Army, we took PT, brother, in boots. Now they get to wear nice little cool uniforms, nice tennis shoes. But we didn't do all that. We had to run in boots, our fatigues. Now they got it nice. They got it easy nice. Yeah.
One last thing before I go, Mayor. One of the callers the other day talked about some things that need to start the school year with.
Mm-hmm.
I have my 5 things on my list. Number 1, don't bring your gun to school.
That's not funny, man. I mean, come on.
Number 2, don't bring your drugs to school.
Okay. I agree.
Number 3, don't assault your teacher. Number 4, don't assault your fellow students. Number 5, don't be disrespectful to authority.
Well, I think Dr. Z has got that handle. I believe he does. I believe he. And I'm going to talk to him in the next couple of weeks when school gets all started. Talk to him. I think he got that squared away. I think there's a different attitude in our schools. I'm hoping there is. I think he's made some changes, and I'm hoping things will get better. So,
well, the same question you asked about what happened with police officers and the same thing that happened with the Montgomery public school system.
Well, what happened to the school system? We got too many women on the board.
What? You said that, Mayor?
We do. We got too many women on the board. They don't believe in discipline. They believe in hugging. Okay.
Well, the old Board of Education used to be a wooden board with 3 holes drilled in it, wrapped with a piece of old inner tube.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got the Board of Education.
Hey, that was the board, and we listened to the board. Okay.
Have a good day, Mayor.
Appreciate it. All righty then. Let me see if I can get this thing so y'all understand what we were talking about. Because if I could have been there, me and the boys, I'd have took on that police officer for the way he treated that woman. I mean, there's no way in the hell I could sit by and watch you hit a girl like that and not try to do something to you. It just didn't make no sense. You don't do that. But I'm gonna show you. I'll show. So you don't have to try to imagine what we're talking about here. This is what we're talking about right here. Okay. Now, again, he started out sort of, kind of nice. He wasn't a butthole then, but he at the end he was.
Why do you have a Tito's bottle? You're not even 21, or from my grandma's house, but hopefully just turn around. You're gonna catch a couple of tickets. All right. So right where it says signature, I need you to sign. And
now at that point, he was cool. He said, "I need you to sign the thing." She became non-compliant, pissed the guy off, and that's what he got. He got pissed off. Okay, that's what he did. Because she threw the thing at him rather than sign it. Now, and listen, I don't know how, she's a youngster. They think they know everything. They get most of their legal advice from YouTube, okay, or Facebook, and they'll find out as they go on. That's not a good place to get legal advice, okay. But again, up until this point, and listen, he was just doing his job.
You're trying to go to jail, ain't you? So what did I do? Put your left hand real quick. Do not resist. Do not resist.
Now, he had her arms behind her, but he put, don't resist. Well, they say that when they finna do something dirty to you, so they can say you were resisting. Does it look like she's resisting to you? I mean, she's being a little bit uncooperative, but I can't say she's resisting. And look how big he is over her.
Not resist.
I need to call Mama.
No, stop.
What am I doing?
there is no way that man is going to justify what he just did. She was not fighting him. She was being a child. She was being, well, not a child, but a young adult, and not necessarily, doing. There's no way. There is no way he could justify what he just did. I'm sorry. Look at the way she's doing this. She's being like any other person would be. Well, what are you doing that for? What there's no way he can justify what he just did.
No, stop.
Now, does it look like she's resisting to you? Look how big he is over her. Okay?
What am I doing? Oh, no.
Stop.
Oh, my God, this is illegal.
One resisting. I don't give a
Now, wait. Now he gets up. Wait a minute. Now he gets on his microphone, his little thing, and says, I got one resisting. I'm trying to figure where in the hell was the resistance at? Big as he is, sitting on top of her. Where was the resistance at? Hell, I've been resisting too. You're sitting on me for no. I mean, really, a girl? That ain't the worst part of this though. That ain't the worst part. We're gonna get back again. Notice this is where he starts. Okay, this is where he starts. Then I'll be done with this. Okay, he calls this. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. See how big he is. He got to bend down to even deal with her. Okay, I'm just telling you. He don't need to be. If they let him stay on the force, he needs to be put on administrative duty.
So what did I do?
Put your left hand real quick. Do not look. Do not resist.
Now look at that. Her arms are behind her.
No, stop.
What am I doing?
You tell me, is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there that thinks what that man just did is right? Absolutely not.
Oh my God, this is illegal.
One resisting. I don't give a turn around. Turn around.
Look at that. There's no reason in the world that man should have hit that woman in the face like that child in the face like that. There's no reason. There's no reason whatsoever. Okay. Big as he, and if he needs to get a job at McDonald's, he don't need to be on the streets, the highways of Mississippi, Arkansas, whatever the hell that is. No. Because had you been a man, he probably would have shot you.
Turn around. Turn around.
I don't blame him for not turning around.
Turn around.
I need to call my mama.
Turn around. I'll punch you again if you don't.
Turn around. I'll punch you again.
Turn around.
You cannot punch me in my face.
Who said?
And he punched her in the face. Okay, I'm just telling you that there's no state patrol officer that I would have any more respect for if I saw this. None.
Who?
Oh, my mama.
Who said I can't punch you in your face?
Who said I can't punch you in your face? Hell, he ain't even denying it. Okay, so that's what the whole thing was about from yesterday. This guy, he don't need to be on anything that's got Mississippi in it. I'm staying so far away from it. I don't know what to do. My mama told me about Mississippi. That's where she's from. They're not in Mississippi. They're in Arkansas, but they got a county called Mississippi County. What the hell does that tell you? I'm not going. If I ever go through Arkansas and it says Mississippi County, I'm turning around going a different way. Okay, because I may run into that son of a gun, and we don't want to do that. Anyway, so much for all that. I thought I'd just show you that's what we were talking about. The guy was 100% wrong. Anybody think he wasn't wrong? No, he was wrong. Totally wrong. There's just no way that anybody can justify what that man did. No way whatsoever. There's a little young lady, okay, and I gotta call my mama. Well, that's what a lot of teenagers do when they get in trouble. Call mommy. Well, I understand that, but we let them drive cars. We let them do the things they have to do, and so be it. Is there anybody out there think that what they just saw was justified? Okay. Now, she should have signed. There ain't no doubt about it. She should have signed the paper. Okay. But he don't get to be judge, jury, and executioner because she did not sign the paper. Okay. I mean, anything, just take her to jail. Anything, just take her to jail. But what he did, oh no, that's a suit. That's a lawsuit. So he turned a ticket into a lawsuit against the Arkansas State Patrol. Okay, so that's what he did. I'm trying to figure who sent us the video, who put the video out. So somebody thought this wasn't right, and the video has made it to the public. Okay, I'm just saying, that's just the way it goes. Anyway, what's the number? What's the number here? Where we are here? Okay, there we go, right there. There we go, right there. Okay, then. So anyway, my dad from Osceola, Arkansas. Well, I didn't say Arkansas, although I don't know if there's a hell of a lot difference between Arkansas and Mississippi. I just don't know if there's much difference, but we'll let that go for the time being. I know the Clintons. I had a good friend named Drumgool, went to basic training with from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Never will forget him. Haven't seen him since that day we graduated. You were conceived in Mississippi. No, I was not. I was not. I was conceived in Indiana. Of course, it wasn't much better than Mississippi. Often, it really wasn't much better, but that's just the way it goes. 521-2963 is the number if you want to chime in, and you may totally disagree with me, which is okay. I got no problem with that. Yeah, I got no problem with people disagreeing. I just want you to justify. Can we actually justify what that officer did? I don't know how anybody can. I just don't know how you. I mean, throwing her on the ground, beating her in the face, and then talk about who says I can't beat you in the face. Really? I mean, we treat prisoners of war better than that. If you you remember what happened down at Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay? We got some NCOs and people got in trouble down there because they made people set out butt naked. Okay, and they did them wrong. I mean, but really, so this is okay. This is okay. I don't believe so. Anyway, move right along to other things. He said, we do have one less police officer. MPD says a 35-year-old, I'm not going to put her number, it's in the paper, faces charge of third-degree domestic violence, criminal mischief, and third-degree domestic violence menacing. Evidently, that's a relationship that's gone wrong. Because those are the kind of things that people do when relationships go wrong. I mean, and that's exactly what that sounds like. And so somebody, boyfriend, girlfriend thing, I just don't think they should put if you work for the public, I don't think they should put all your business on the front page of the newspaper. Let these young folks work this out some kind of way, restraining orders, whatever the case may be. But now she's lost her job and everything. I don't know. I just don't know if that's good or not. If that's a good thing or not. Anyway, you were conceived in this. You were conceived. No, my mama was conceived in Mississippi. I wasn't. Okay, only downloaded in Indiana by default. They don't claim you. Well, that's I don't want. Listen, of all the states, besides Alabama, the only other state I would never live in, and believe me, I didn't think I'd ever live in Alabama either. All the things I heard, segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. That was not a welcoming stance of the governor at that particular time. I wouldn't. Man, there are a whole lot of states I've been to, whole lot of states, but I mean Alabama. I never thought I'd be living here, but I like it here now. I do. It's a good place to live. It's a great place to live. People are nice. I mean, people are genuine here. They genuinely like you, or they genuinely can't stand you. But there's no ambiguity in where people stand on you. So that's cool. I got no problem with that. I like Alabama now. I mean, now y'all eat tomato sandwiches. I don't understand how you just cut some tomatoes and put them on bread and eat them. Now that part, I don't. I mean, if it ain't, of course, then again, though, some people say, how in the world can black folks eat pork chop sandwiches with a bone in it? We eat around the bone. Okay, we take a little bread in the bite and a little meat, leaving the bone behind. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay, but a tomato sandwich with no meat. Now that one right there, that one's that one still gets me till today. I mean, at that rate, you'll never be hungry because you don't need meat. You just go to the store, get some tomatoes, get some Miracle Whip. I don't know about that mayonnaise thing, but I like Miracle Whip. Get some Miracle Whip put on there. I'm gonna try it one time. I'm gonna try it and see, and see how it works. Okay, where did that come from? Okay, I don't know where that came from. But anyway, okay, move right along to other things. Good morning to you. Montgomery ulcer, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's a story that I don't quite understand, and this woman right here should go to jail for a long, long time. There was a mother. Okay, her name was Sherry Walker, and her husband, Dustin Walker. They have been sentenced to jail. Why? One of the most repugnant things that any human being can do. Her husband impregnated her daughter. She was 11 years old. 11. I mean, really? 11 years old. And her husband, rather than shoot that son of a gun, she took up for him. Okay? She took up for him. I no lying. 11 years old. And there's just some things that human beings do that I don't quite understand. I just don't get it. I mean, really? It just doesn't. I just don't get it. But anyway, moving right along to other things. She should have called him sleeping one night and went in there and put some hot water on his private parts. Okay, and then called the police. All right, because 11 years, and she made the girl have the baby. Have the child. Wow, that is something else. But anyway, so much for that. Moving right along. It seemed like all that money that the Rhett Markey spent did him some good, and evidently having Trump on his side helped him, I guess. But he wins the thing. Yesterday, the president put out a what do you call it? One of them order things. What do you call that? Executive order about vaccinations. You know, I'm willing to, like, I took the COVID vaccine, and I took Z with me. You know, I'm willing to take a chance, and a lot of people took a chance on that thing because some people died from it. They did. It made some people very, very sick. It paralyzed some people. That COVID vaccine did. It was something that was new. It was something that we didn't know anything about. But if we had did nothing, we would have never come up with the guy. I'm still trying to figure out what's his name. Why he is in charge of anything to do with medicine. It just amazes me. Trump can talk to me, can come to Montgomery, Alabama, talk to me, and explain to me. I would never understand why he has this in charge of anything with me. He's not there. But I would still take the vaccine over again. It's better than nothing. What's up there, Duke?
Mr. Elkins. I saw in the news this morning that Fox News and all of them that 85% of the American people want these kids to get the vaccine.
I think it's probably right.
You know, you got Trump on the TV talking about I passed an executive order on this because some people said that this and that. Some people said he ain't saying about what the doctors and the scientists say. He said, well, some people, he going by what the hell some people, that idiot in there looking like that lion on that lion on Wizard of Oz, what's his name? That Kennedy dude that, you know,
he
him
just,
and
I just don't understand why he
I still want to
charge of anything medical.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But this is the same party, Kevin, that told us that, you know, the Democrats were just hiring people because of DEI. They didn't have experience and all that stuff. Then we hear all that you got to have experience.
Yeah, you might be right about that. I think Trump got a couple of DEI hires up there also.
He got a bunch of them.
Yeah, he got a bunch of them too.
But you know, this Kennedy man, he just going in there and just doing what he want to do. And Trump say some people want this, some people want that, but 85% of the American people say they don't want that for their kids. They want the kids to have that vaccine.
Well,
I don't think. And it's been a while since I had kids in the school, but my grandson is in school right now. Well, I got other grandkids too, but my daughter's son is in school now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm paying attention to all this stuff right here, Kevin, from now on until he get grown. So give my child his vaccine. I don't hear nothing about.
Now here's what I don't agree with the government on. If I don't want to take it, then the government should not be able to force me to take it. Okay,
right.
But you know, I don't think you should force anybody to do anything. But I also think you need to put the right information out. These vaccines have been.
You know, they should have talked to the people about it, but don't just come up and say, I'm going to do a executive order on something you don't know a damn thing about.
Yeah, anything.
Just ask them all.
Yeah.
Don't come your ass over on me, Carl. Don't come over on me now.
Even the guys who's against it doesn't have a medical background. I'm still trying to figure out where he came from. I know he's related to Robert F. Kennedy, but I just don't understand why we give somebody without a medical degree.
I would love to hear him and Susan Collins have a debate and just talk about this thing a little bit longer. Him and Susan Collins, you know, they kind of talk alike, you know. And I love to hear them arguing about something. I wish they were married to each other and just let us be a fly on the wall at their house. But Kevin, what about the pillow man lost last night? My pillow guy, he lost his.
Okay, I mean, somebody gonna lose every time you do it. So I mean,
didn't they have a song? Didn't they have a song a long time ago? Say, lay your head on my pillow and cry, something like that.
I guess you did, but it's.
Yeah, he needs to lay his head on one of his damn pillows and cry about it.
Just like this.
Because he said he was cheated out of it, Cam. Said the damn Democrats cheated him out of this damn.
And I don't. They could have, but I don't know.
This is Republican damn it, thing right here where he was in last night. You know, Democrat was nowhere around. But Doug Jones on TV this morning talking about this data center thing that Tuberville dying to get in the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But Doug made good sense on it. He said they need to, you know, study this thing and talk to the people about what their plan is.
Now, which thing are you talking about? Which thing are you talking about?
This data center thing they talking about.
Putting I'm worried about that. I really am worried about that. And I've been promised, well, you know, it's not dangerous. It's not this. But anytime you put that much power in anything, I'm just tell you, I don't know what the I would say put them out in the woods. Do not put them around communities. Put them out.
Well, what's surprising to me, Kevin, that the so-called conservatives and Republicans are mad with Tuberville about this thing. They ain't giving a damn about this stuff right here. He talking about. Yeah.
Well, I'm concerned about it because I don't want 10 years from now. I probably may not be here for people to wake up one day and find out that these things, all that power gives you cancer, because you know they blame cancer on everything. So I just don't know. I'm skeptical of the long range effect it's going to have in community. As long as they got it out in the country, I'm good. Out in the boondocks.
But what I'm saying now, there's people out in the country got signs up saying don't bring this crap out here on my.
Well, a lot of people don't want it, and then some do want it.
Right. And these are the Trump supporters. These are Trump supporters that voted for this cat.
And I cannot believe, I still don't believe that we are not going to be on the hook paying for some of that power that they're using. I cannot believe, because they'll say, well, you know, like we give tax abatements to businesses that come to town, you know, who hire lots of people. I understand that part, but this data center, once it's built, it's not going to hire a whole bunch of people. If they got 20 people working out there, then that's going to be a surprise, because once it's built, it's automated.
Right.
So I'm kind of worried about this.
But I'm happy though that these you know, it may be hope. I've been praying, Kevin, for these Trump cult members. I've been praying for y'all to come around, but I see the light a little bit, man. These people fighting back a little bit, because maybe because Trump approval rating is at you know, the low 30s or something like that. I don't know, you know. I may have a fair part in some kind of way, that the economy not doing good, and you know, my health insurance went up a damn $100 more, you know, and we struggling to pay health insurance. You gotta toss a coin every month.
You gotta blame that on the Obama people.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
He did away. Here's the deal. He did away with the subsidies that was saved me $100.
Well,
he did away with the subsidies at the end of last year, Kevin.
Why would you have to need subsidies?
It kept the price down. It kept the price down.
No, it didn't.
For everybody. The hell it did. Why in the hell it went up for $100 then right after?
Hey, where did that subsidy money come from? Where did that subsidy money come from?
But your president, let me go on. Because I still got to work on you. I still got to work on you with the cult member thing.
The subsidy came from us.
Kevin, that was part of the Obamacare. Some of the things that he had, the subsidy, as they call it.
Let me ask you.
I don't know the detail of it, but
if Obama said, Duke, every month you need to write a check to the federal government to help people with their medical care, would you do it?
Kevin, at the end of the day, would you do it? You talking hypothetical right now. But
the point is, that's how they did it.
The point is, Kevin, that your president told us that we instead of giving to the insurance company, we're gonna get the money to you. Have you gotten your damn penny yet, or $2 yet from this individual? No. He said we're supposed to get the damn money in our hand instead of paying to the insurance company. He didn't explain how in the hell they're gonna work. It was just a damn idea.
And then your taxes go up. We still end up paying for everything.
But Kevin, this man haven't done a damn thing for us, and that's summing it all up with it. My point is that he messed up our health insurance, messed it up, damn it. And the grocery, I had to eat poly meat and damn tomato sandwiches and stuff that you were talking about a while ago. I got to eat some of that right now.
Wait, did not Obama say your insurance is going to go down? It has
damn Obama been gone for how many years? How many years Obama been out of the White House?
That ain't the point. What he did, and
you tell us to leave the damn pass alone. Then let's talk about Trump. Trump is in the White House right now. Trump is the president, Kevin. Damn it, he's the president. Let's talk about the man in the White House.
Before Trump got there.
Trump, no, he came in and made things worse. Damn it! Now I'm going to give me some tomatoes and make me a tomato sandwich out of water.
Now you can't afford no meat. Okay, so now you can't. Right, you can't afford meat. Okay, right now I got you. But this is the South. Y'all eating tomato sandwiches, and we good. You don't need no meat. I'm from the North. The Midwest. I need some meat on the sandwich. I'm putting two slices of tomato on a piece of bread and calling that a sandwich. Who the hell came up with that? I don't know. Is there anybody? Are any of you folks listening right now? Any of y'all ever eat a tomato sandwich without nothing between it? I never heard of such a thing till I got to Alabama. Never heard of that. What do you mean? Somebody that bought me something, I had to call the police, said they was mentally ill. A sandwich with no meat on it. Man, y'all must be talking about, well, you got some tomatoes on it. That's right. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Obamacare was the biggest medical screw up in the history of America. It didn't help us. It hurt everybody. We changed our medical system in such a way that it will never go back to being the way it was. Okay, I'm just telling you, it did not help us at all. It hurt us. people don't. We got people now who don't have it. Who in the hell can afford it? You know. And thank God, if it wasn't not for the VA, I'd be up the creek. Yeah, because I'm not gonna spend. I got to make a determination. Well, should I buy groceries or should I pay my medical thing? I think I'll buy some groceries. I think I'll buy some groceries. I'll pay the light bill. Okay. Okay. Well, I got a good question. I got a good answer for you for this one. Camilla says billionaires get their part. Why can't the poor get their share of their taxes? Because the poor don't pay much taxes. Okay. The poor don't pay. The billionaires and the millionaires pay 70% of all the taxes in America. The poor folk don't hardly pay. I think we're down there, and I did say we. I think we down there somewhere between 5 and 10% of taxes are paid by poor people. But the rest of them taxes, do you really believe that you pay enough taxes to make a difference? Okay, sure. It hurts you because you're not making as much money as the rich. I got you. But they pay most of the taxes. Okay, that's just not a lie. That's the truth. Look it up. Okay, where's Syria? Wait, let me tell you who pays the taxes in America. Y'all poor folks always talking about I want my share of my taxes. Y'all be broke. Y'all don't know how to pay no taxes. Come on now. Just tell the truth. Shame the devil. Poor people don't pay many taxes. That's because we ain't got no money to pay many taxes. Okay. Who pays the taxes in America? Let me see who pays TAX America. Okay, so we're gonna say who pays the taxes in America? Who pays the most taxes in America? In the United States, high income earners pay the vast majority of the federal individual income taxes, according to the Internal Revenue Service Foundation. The top 1% of earners pay 40% of all federal income taxes, while the top 50% of all taxpayers account for about 97% of the total. So poor people, I'm sorry, we whine about it, paying it, but we don't pay much. Yeah, we don't have much to pay it with. Okay, so thank God for rich people. Okay, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't wouldn't have many taxes. So I was getting mad at rich people. I ain't mad at rich people. Come on now. Okay. Individual income taxes, the largest source of taxes revenue and half of total annual receipts. Income taxes are levies of wages of salaries, income, investment, and other income. Payroll taxes, which help to finance Social Security, Medicare, unemployment benefits, are the second largest source of federal revenue and make up about 1/3 of total receipts annually. Payroll taxes are deducted from your worker's paycheck through the FICA, which stands for Federal Insurance Contribution Act. Now, they didn't ask me if I wanted to contribute to it at all, but that's what we got. So you see, we poor people, shut up. You're not hardly paying much anyway. Okay? Just leave it alone. I know if you don't make much, you don't pay much. I got you. But we act like we paying all the taxes. Give me some of my tax money back. Hell, if you gave me my tax money back, I probably couldn't afford to pay the light bill. So I'm just saying, let's not be whiners. Okay. Okay. I'm just saying, we take we take credit for things that we don't do. Poor folks take credit. Man, my tax money. I ain't hardly paying jack. Okay. Then why you? Well, you if poor people don't pay much taxes, then why do you want the taxes? Because they still participate in the process of America. They still get unemployment insurance. They still get paid streets. They still get things that are done with tax dollars. So why shouldn't they pay a little bit? Okay, I'm just saying. And Gary says that insurance prices were high under Biden as well before the big beautiful bill. They were. As a matter of fact, the Obamacare thing just it has been a travesty of justice. Okay, we got people now who can't even afford insurance. Consumer prices rose 0.1% in July as expected, putting the annual rate at 3.4%. Okay, whatever that means. Economics is not my economics is not my bad. Let's see now. What did he say here? Oscar said, "Can you tell me why we have a copay when it comes to health insurance?" Well, I guess they want to make sure that you really think you're sick before you come in there, wasting their time with a cold. I guess that's why they do. I don't know. I mean, you got to pay something, I guess. But yeah, I don't know where the copay thing came from. I mean, I thought that's where you had insurance. But listen, I guess I want to make sure that you come in there, you think you got a legitimate reason to come. Somebody else, that's not my specialty. That's not my expertise. I'm just thinking logically, they want you, what's the word we use all the time? We want you to have some skin in the game. Don't just keep coming, talking about I'm sick because I got a cold and, we're going to make you pay to see if you sick. So I'm just, maybe they want you to have some skin in the game. That's the only thing I can think of. Because wrong. Okay, well, tell me why. Just tell me why. Oscar, tell me where I'm wrong. Just tell me where I'm wrong. Because I could be wrong. So tell me why I'm wrong. And what big lie you talking about? What big lie you talking about? I'm just, y'all got to be more specific when you accuse me of things. You got to be more specific about what I'm wrong about or what I'm lying about, or whatever the case may be. Just, be more specific about it. Because I can't, I talk so much sometimes I don't remember what I said. And say, and it may not be that I've lied. You misinterpreted what I said. Okay, which is okay because I'm brilliant, and sometimes the words come out too complicated to explain to a regular person. Okay, I got you. I feel you now. And sometimes you got to, reach way up there. Okay, when it comes to skin. So I'm just saying, y'all tell me where I'm wrong. Okay. Now let's get back to the thing of the day. Big lie about paying taxes. And which lie is that? The middle class pays 26% of the taxes. Well, listen, I'm just telling you what I just looked up from the Internal Revenue Service. Okay. So according to them, the fairness of federal tax system is a hotly debated issue. Too often, however, those debates confuse and misrepresent the important facts because they focus on one type of tax rather than the various taxes that people face. Okay. Using the 2022 data from Tax Policy Center, TPC, and the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, here's an analysis of taxes. Individual income taxes, the largest source of tax revenue and half of total annual receipts, income taxes, and levies on wages of salaries, income from investment, payroll taxes. We got excise taxes. We got all kind of taxes. Okay, we got all kind of taxes. But overall, the rich people pay most of the taxes. I mean, they gotta pay most of the taxes because poor people don't have a whole lot of money. Okay, they just don't have a whole lot of, and because of that, they also get tax breaks. I think they ought to get tax. People getting mad at Trump because Trump didn't pay a whole lot of taxes. Well, the law gave him a 30-year grace period. If he lost $1 billion, you get a 30-year grace period to get it back. So, I mean, don't blame him. Okay, I'm just saying. Who pays the high H? Okay. Now I'm going to look this up one more time. Okay. And then who pays the highest taxes in the state? High income earners pay the vast majority of federal individual income taxes. And according to the Internal Revenue Service, the top 1% of earners pay roughly 40% of all federal income taxes, while the top 50% of all taxpayers account for about 97%. So us poor people pay the 3%. Okay, taxes. Jerry said taxes are for appearances only. Okay, let me see what do you mean by that. The government prints money when it needs it. Taxes are merely used as a political tool. Okay, I can live with that. Jerry, I got that. I'm okay. I mean, it's a good thing we can print some money. You know, it's a good thing our money is not coming from China too, because else we'd have to call them and borrow some of it. Um, but yet and still, somebody pays the taxes. You know, somebody pays the taxes, don't they? I mean, you know, but I hear what you're saying. Top 1% income over, if you have an income of over $663,000 a year, you pay about 40% of all federal income taxes, carrying the share higher than the bottom 90% of Americans combined. Top 10% of taxpayers' income are roughly for those who make over $178,000 a year. They haven't got to my part yet. The bottom 50% of taxpayers' incomes below $50,000. Hey, you got me right there, brother. Income below $50,000 pay 3% of federal income taxes. Okay, so y'all need to stop whining out there. Okay, poor people don't pay many taxes. Okay, we don't have many money. We don't have much money to pay taxes. So if you're making $50,000 a year, you just not. You know, you're not paying a whole lot of taxes. You know? You're just not doing it. Good morning.
Mayor, once you acknowledge that all politicians tell you things that aren't true, then it's easier to deal with. And just like President Obama said, you will be able to keep your doctor, which I wasn't able to. Your health care costs won't go up.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah.
And it's gone up over 200% since the Affordable Care Act was passed. Over 200%. So all politicians say things to get elected, to get reelected, to push their agenda. And once you acknowledge that,
mm-hmm.
then it's not so hard. And it's just like a person that is, you know, wants to put on the brakes, wants to ask questions, wants to do some independent thinking and not follow what the politician says, then they get labeled. And, you know, if you got common sense and you say, okay, this doesn't square up, it doesn't make good financial sense, well, then that's an opportunity for you to express your opinion and to question and be an independent thinker and not follow what the politician says. But for the politician, if it's a risky deal, and it's your money, you're going to ask questions. You're going to say, wait a minute, hold on, let's put on the brakes before we do this, family. But the politician views that risky deal as an opportunity to influence friends, associates, family members, and other people. It's an opportunity. A risky deal for a politician is an opportunity. Have a good day, Mayor.
I appreciate it. Somebody just put something on the page. 72 shots called vaccines. It's freaking ridiculous. Well, here's my question. And again, I'm not against vaccines. I think they do more good than they do bad. So I'm not, when I was coming up, you just had to take them. And are we a better nation because of it? Yes. Yes. Are we better off having people with some sort of protection than we are with none? That's a common sense answer. Of course we are. Of course we are. Now, have you realized lately when people stop taking them, have you realized lately that a lot of the measles is coming back? Even we have cases of polio, and we got rid of polio years ago. Okay, now it's coming back. Measles is coming back. And Now, I will say one thing. If your family decide that they don't want you to have the vaccines, I wouldn't want them in the classroom with my child. You know, I just no sense being stupid about it, because we have not eradicated the earth of all of these things. So a vaccine, now 72, that's quite a bit. I don't remember taking 72, but I remember even in the military, when you go in, you got to take. You don't get a choice where they take it back there. Bend down, grab them. All right, take a shot. I mean, they gave us all going through the line. We just went through the line, getting a shot here, shot there, and bending over and pulling this up and pulling that up. Listen, I felt like a machine going through there. But that's the way it goes. I'd rather take them, but I don't think the government should say we are going to mandate that you put this in your body. But the government does have the right to protect the general public. And if you don't want your kid to take vaccine, that's cool. But you don't get to sit in the classroom with my child who's taken one, and yours may get sick and screw everybody. So you don't get to do that. You do get to make a choice about your own body, So I don't have a problem with that. But measles, and yeah, they are. So I don't know. I think the president's wrong on this. Matter of fact, what is that guy named? That Kennedy guy name? I guess his name is. I don't know who he related to, but I'm just trying to figure out who made Kennedy in charge of medical decisions. Okay, so this guy's not a doctor. I mean, talking about DEI. Let's see who made Kennedy. Let's make Kennedy. Okay. And he makes medical decisions. I don't get that. But I don't. Hey, he just. Yes, his name's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yeah. Okay. Well, we go one step. Yeah. Okay. Now, what does it say about Robert F. Kennedy at the moment? It says no one made Robert F. Kennedy Jr. a doctor of medicine. He does not hold, and this is what I know, he does not hold a medical degree and has a background in law, working previously as an environmental attorney rather than in medical training. I just don't understand why we are listening to this guy. I'm stupefied that we're doing that. His education background, he holds a Bachelor of Arts from Harvard University. Okay, so he's a smart kid, smart man. A Juris Doctorate from the University of Virginia Law School, and a Master of Laws from Pace University School of Law. And again, none of that has anything to do with medicine. Okay. His current role, of course, he serves as the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, a leadership and policy position that does not require a medical license or medical degree. Well, I'm just stupefied. I guess you get doctors who work for you. I mean, lieutenants in the Army always get put in charge of things they don't know nothing about either. Of course, they depend on people like me and other NCOs to guide them through, and our senior NCOs and stuff like that. So I got that part, but the doctor thing. But anyway, listen, I don't know. I got to go along with some of the people. That's probably a DEI hire right there. I mean, but he is a smart man. There's no doubt about it. He's a smart guy. Our national debt is $40 trillion. It's probably more than that. Clearly, taxes are not paying the bills yet. I'm with you. You're probably right on that, Jerry. At $40 trillion, none of us are paying enough taxes. Our national debt is $40 trillion. Clearly, taxes are not paying the bills. Yet, people are struggling to pay. What would be the difference in if taxes were abolished? The national debt would be $60 trillion. What difference would it make? All we gotta do is print some more money. I added that part to it. Okay. But what difference would it make in the long run? I got you. Because every time the bill goes high, we just print more money, which I'm good. I wish I could print some money on my own, but I can't. So, all right then. You're right on point there, Jared. You're right on point. I wouldn't. I'm gonna have to have you come on the line, Jared. One day I'm gonna send you a link. You can come on the line anytime you want to, because people want to see you. Okay, you need that. We need to have you on, and I'll play your favorite song. Who let the dogs out? Who? That was Jerry's song. Who let the dogs out? Anyway, so much for that. Moving right along to other things, but he may be right about that. $40 trillion. It's kind of like cities that borrow lots of money. We ain't gonna never pay it back. Okay, we just want to get it right now, use and do things we got to do and keep moving. It's hard. Who does anybody think we ever gonna pay $40 trillion back? Okay, seriously, does anybody think that? Of course not. Why are so many libtards unsell? Okay, let me see what that says. I guess. Why are so many libtards for unvetted and unvaccinated illegals coming through our borders? Then that's a great question. Okay, experimental gene therapy with a viral protein. Well, we needed to do something. Okay, we needed to do something when COVID came, but is the government protecting the people and environment? I think the environment. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't crazy. We don't want to do. I think our environment, the good Lord had made it where the environment pretty much takes care of itself. I remember sitting up there in Mount St. Helens, watching Mount St. Helens go off. It was 80, 81, whatever it was. And everybody talked about, oh, it's over. It's over. It ain't going to happen. It will never come back again. Okay. Well, that's not true. Not only is it back, it's back with a vigor in it. Okay. Mount St. Helens, when it blew up that day, put more stuff in the air than 1 million cars could do at one time. So God knew that we were going to do stupid things. And let's talk about Exxon Valdez. When it spilled in the water, oh my Lord, the fish gonna die. It's over. It's all over. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing on earth that has not always been here. Nothing. Oil has always been here. Okay? Mountains and volcanoes and things of that nature have always been here, and they just did not start erupting lately. They've been erupting for a long time. Okay? So God made an earth that could take care of itself. He got to take care of us because we don't have good sense. Okay? We use our nature to do strange things like telling boys that they can become women, and telling women that they can become boys by merely changing their name. And they call themselves studs now. Okay. I'm just saying. So nature will take care of itself, and it will take care of us too, because nature, you cannot be fooled. Nature knows what you are. They know if you were born a man. It also know whether or not you were born a woman. You cannot be both. You cannot be twixt and between. You're either male or a female. Now, every once in a while, you have this medical condition called hermaphrodite. I got that part. That's because we do stupid things with our foods and things of that nature. Okay. Okay. You have what's it say? You have a choice that 99% of Trump cabinet is DEI appointees. Well, the Kennedy thing is the only one that just bothers me because medicine is a science, and to have somebody who has not extensively studied in the genre, how can we put him in charge of deciding who can and who cannot take vaccines? Who should or who should not take vaccine? That one will get me for a long time. How you can make medical decisions unless he's doing it from the doctors that work for the NIH and people like that. That's the only way he can make decisions like that. Okay, because he doesn't have the training or the background to make medical decisions, but he does have them with the counsel of other people. It's kind of like the lieutenant and the captain who just got there, don't know jack. He depends on us, I guess, to give him information that he can use to make better decisions. Like generals, I mean, ain't no way in the hell a general can sit there at Fort Bragg and know what every unit under his command is doing. You depend on leadership to do those things. So I'm thinking maybe that's what he depends on, the people in his the people on his staff and things of that nature. And he deducts a decision from the information that he receives. Because he certainly can't make it from a medical perspective because he doesn't, he just doesn't have that kind of training. And I'm still perplexed how he got that job. But I guess DEI wasn't just for black folks. I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking. Let me see now. Good morning, Camellia. Good morning, Pierre. Romeus. Hey, that's an interesting name. Thomas Lucan. Anyway, good morning, you two. And all the rest of you folks out there that join us. I did have, okay. Now let me get on next door. Okay, let me get on next door. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all right to have an opinion. I'm with you. You can have an opinion over there if you want to. But when a man gives you an opportunity to ask him personally a question, and then you do not, now we're getting down to, we got an election coming up on the 1st of September for City Council District number 3, of course, which I am a candidate. And people, now, other day, somebody asked me for the first time in a long time, somebody asked me a pretty good question. They said, why are you running for the job? Now, I've been asked a lot of questions. And you know what? I like that question. Okay, I really do. It's an interesting question. So I'm gonna tell you, it's a great question. See, those are the kind of questions that I like. I am running because after 35 years in this city, watching 35 years of politicking, I am frustrated that after all of this time, we have not gotten better, but we have yet gotten a little bit worse. Now, if you keep doing the same thing that you've always done, you'll keep getting the same thing you've always gotten. Okay? Are we a better city? Are we a better city today than we were 35 years ago? No. I would tell you, and does the city council have much to do with that? I'm saying if they don't have much to do with that, then we don't need one. Okay, so you have to lay the blame someplace where the blame lies, because if you cannot blame the people in charge, then we don't need to pay them for being in charge. They are the leadership of this city. Okay, so the question I ask you is: Montgomery better today than it was in 1991 when I got here? And so I deduce from looking at the environment and from looking at things and the people who have left, businesses have left, people getting tired of their businesses being robbed. I know Stivers was talking about leaving because every other day or every other week, somebody would break into his cars, and that costs money, and you shouldn't have to pay a fee for being into business, except to the state, except to the city on your business license. You shouldn't have to do that. But these people are paying all kinds of fees, and fees is paying for property that has been damaged. We had more police when I got here. I think we were up to what 450, 500 when I got here. I never heard a mumbling word about why don't we have policemen who want and people who are willing to be police. What happened? Why don't and that's a great question. And I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Why I believe that's that way. And I agree with you. But the change, you can only change what you can change. Okay. One person can't change a community. It takes the collective. It takes all of us. But let me get back to what I was saying. People asking me, why am I running? Well, again, if you keep doing the same things that you have always done and expecting different results, that is called insanity. Insanity. So I've watched from afar, having talked to just about every city council person in the last 35 years that have been down there. I've tried to get into some of their heads and why did you make this decision? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Sometimes you get an answer, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go along to get along. Okay, sometimes you go along, get along. I've often told people in life, one of these days, you'll find yourself having to stand up for something you believe, and nobody believes in it but you. At some point, there's only been one Jesus, Camille. There's only been one. There have been two of a lot of things, but we've only had one Jesus. And when your Father is God, you can pretty much do anything you want to do. Okay, I mean, you can change the world in a blink of an eye. You can bring thousands of angels down to earth. So I'm not Jesus. You're not either. So we can't do what Jesus do, but we can learn from the things that he has taught us through the scriptures. So why am I running? I'm getting back to that again. It's 3 C's: Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. Number 1 C, it's culture. Why have we changed our culture since 1991? What has changed in Montgomery since 1991? What has changed? What has really changed since 1991 in the city of Montgomery? We've changed politicians. We've changed mayors. I mean, we changed cars. Most of us don't live in the same house we lived in 1991. So we've changed a lot of things. But what have we changed that has changed our culture of the way we used to be? Now there are some cultures there are some cultural aspects that need to be changed, but not since I have been here, not since 1991. We when I got here, you know what? That school over there where my son went to was, when I got here, my understanding was one of the best schools. Was one of the best schools in the state of Alabama. Robert E. Lee. What happened? My son went there for 4 years, and it started a long time ago. It looked like a madhouse over there. The chaos that went on over there, the fights every day. Somebody was fighting. What changed our culture? Anybody got an answer to that? The second C, as in Charlie. Why am I running? Character of our city. The character of many of the people that are in it. It absolutely infuriates me of the disrespect of the for not only each other but for our communities. It means nothing. I'll get with you in a minute here. It means nothing to some places in this town to take your hot dog bag, your McDonald's bag, and you throw it on the ground. It means nothing to people because I see it all the time. Fortunately, on my street, I pick it up. Okay, I pick it up. So what has changed the character of our city? And the third C is crime. If we take care of the first 2 C's, we can revive revive Montgomery. If we take care of character and we take care, okay, of the culture, we can change Montgomery. Changing Montgomery is not a big deal, but it's having parents who want to do the right thing and take care of their kids. And let's not get to, and I'll tell you what, one of the bigger reason character has changed, I'll tell you in a second. Yes.
What day is?
It's Wednesday.
It's a holiday.
What holiday is it?
Hump day.
Hump day. Okay, yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Okay. One of the reasons why we have a crisis of character is because we've had too many fathers. Father is a biological term, as a matter of fact. It's got nothing to do with culture. We've had too many fathers walk away from their kids, and too many women that let them. I meet lots of women sometimes, and I ask them about the dads. Well, I don't want to talk to him. Well, that's got nothing to do with your child. That child needs a man in his life, in his ear, every day. Fatherhood, daddyhood should be on display. So, crime, character, as well as culture, we need to figure out a way to change them all. Our expectations of each other need to be higher than what it is. And I'm not going to tell you that I've been a perfect citizen, because there are some days in my early days being here, I may have thrown a bag down too. But if you know better, you do better. So that's why I'm running for this. We need an enema in Montgomery. We need a facelift. We need a change. But that's why I'm running. Why am I running? Character, culture, and crime. And we can change these. We can change Montgomery to the point where if we had 100 police officers, that'll probably be 50 too many. We can change it. But somebody's got to have the balls to say it and the balls to do it. Not political correctness. No. And parents, maybe you need to let those little kids of yours who are mindless and who don't want to mind. Maybe you should take them out to DYS and let them stay out there for a week. Yeah, maybe we should. Discipline is part of character. If you're not disciplined, you'll never have character. If you let your child do whatever they want to do, anytime they want to do it, you'll never have, their character will never be changed. So that is one of the reasons why I'm running. That's the main reason why I'm running. Because, and here's one more thing. I have done a lot of things for people since I have been in the media, since I have been in radio and podcast. I've done a lot of things, and I can't tell you everything because I don't remember them all. But I know a lot of people have helped me throughout these years on podcasts and on radio to make a big difference in people's lives. And I have done that, not me by myself. People have helped me do that. I believe, I do believe, let me see who yes.
What it do, Kevin, answer your audience.
Good morning.
I got a couple of ways. Number one, what happened to the culture? I told you. The problem is that we allowed the government to be our God. Back then, black people really loved God. Not the way T.D. Jakes running around here, not those types. But we had real down-home people in our community, and the church was the pillar of the community. Now you have a church on every corner over here scheming and scamming, getting PPP loans and all this crap. Church ain't real. They took God out the home and put the government first, and then took the father out the home, threw him out. Now you got a culture problem because women cannot raise young boys. I'm telling you, I have experience. I have one son. And number two, remember boot camp?
Mm-hmm.
They had boot camp back in the early 2000s. I don't know if they have that anymore, but that would be something good they should bring back. Another thing, remember the commercial is 10 o'clock. Are your kids in the house? Those are some, bring back, like what we should do. I know back then, black women worried about their kids coming to the house because I knew to come in the house soon as they had the street lights came on. I think that there should be a curfew for these youngins.
I do too. And if I got anything to do with it, there's going to be one if I can get it. If we can get it passed with the rest of them. And do you know who was against the curfews more than the black council people were against it when it's our kids that are out there making all this trouble?
Yes.
And I don't understand that.
Yes. Now look at it now. It is out of control. And that's the way they want it. People want it that way. The city of Montgomery used to be, it used to be okay. I was 19 in 91, and I remember it well. So, yeah, the city used to had a lot of clubs to go to. You can even go to the NCO club on base. You can even go there. Well, I mean, we used to have so much fun. I mean, it was plenty of jobs on base. Even civilians had jobs on base. Plenty of us. So it was a lot of jobs too. But what happened is that once you put, who in charge, the whole city goes under.
Well,
let's just be real.
Right. But let's just face it. The things that our current mayor is putting up with was here basically when he started. And so let us not blame him for everything. Parents hold more blame to this than the mayor does.
Oh, I never said the mayor should be held accountable.
Right.
The parents is number one.
Right.
Number one. And, they need to be held accountable first.
Yeah. And that's part of the culture. That's part of the culture. And if you can change the culture, you can change the character, and you can change what crime does to us.
You can't change the culture. I'm telling you what to do.
Oh, but you can. The culture's really
back in the house.
Yeah, but the culture's merely the things we have gravitated to in our neighborhoods, in our lives, and that's how we live in our life. We can change the culture of Montgomery if we want to. It's going to take work, and it's going to take people not being politically correct, and it's going to take a piece of wood on the butt of that child of yours who think he runs things.
It's going to take an alpha male. It's not going to take, we don't need these betas.
Yeah.
We don't need y'all switching around here, twisting and all that crap.
Yeah, we do. But I'm too old to run for mayor because I'm an alpha male. But if I'm too old to run for mayor, so I'm gonna let the people.
No, you're not. You're too dark to run for mayor.
Dark? Come on now.
You're too dark skinned. You know you're not.
Listen, you have set him out.
But that guy, good old Cunningham though, he's a pretty good sheriff.
Well, he got a dark complected too.
Yeah, so he's pretty good, very good guy.
Okay, so wait, what's the difference about his darkness and my darkness?
Well, I just thought about it. I took it back.
Okay, all right. Because people are hard on dark-skinned people in America. They really are.
I'm dark-skinned, and I love it, though. I love it. It's never been a problem to me.
Me either.
Me either. But it is a problem with a lot of people.
It is. Even Oprah Winfrey talks about it.
That's
but anyway.
Yeah, those type of people want to keep us thinking that we look a certain type of way so we can flip our own bodies. Like the Democrats want to flip these little boys and have these drag kings and queens come into school libraries and read to your kids, doing creepy stuff like that. Yeah, that's why Oprah did that. They want to flip us all around, like they don't flip everybody anyway, or try to. Yeah. So we go, Okay. She's a Democrat. Okay. Y'all love Oprah. Where's she at now? Everybody running now, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And DEI stands for delusional, evil, and insane. That's what it stands for.
I appreciate it. Delusional, evil, and insane. That sounds pretty good to me. We must never give a whole. I'm with you. And what did the sheriff say? Did the sheriff answer the question? Did the sheriff answer the question about whether he's going to run for mayor or not? Did he answer the question? I don't know if he did or not. I didn't hear it. I heard that the question has been asked to him publicly. I thought he said no. Now, John Nello said, if you marry, you don't have to worry about the government running the man out of your house. Well, sometimes it's easier to get a man out the house if you marry. No, but again, you don't have to be married to be a good father, to be a good dad. You can be, trust me, I couldn't stay married for all the tea in China, but I made sure that I'm involved with my two boys' life. I just made sure that happened. Because boys need a man in their ear, not just once, but from year to year. And we need to be in that ear, be in that heart, and we got to be big and bad enough to knock them out if they need knocking out. Okay, they need to know that just because you get tall, don't make you smart. Okay, don't make you smart at all. So the men need to be in their child's life from year to year. Be in that ear each and every year. So, so they know they can't get away with just anything. But anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I decided to run culture, crime, and the character of our city. And those three words are on the endangered species list of words: culture, character, and crime. Because we act like we can't do nothing about it, but we can. And I would imagine there's some place in America where a city faced the same challenges we did, but somebody came up and changed it. Somebody came and said, we need to do something different. Again, doing the same thing the way we've always done them and expecting different results is not a very good thing to do. That's called insanity. Okay. So culture, crime, and character. Those are the three things if we can affect, but we have to affect one at a time. One at a time. You're not gonna help crime if people's character doesn't change. You can't change their character. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, Elisa. You can't change the character until you can change the culture. And once you change the character and the culture, you can take care of the crime. But we must be vigilant in our pursuit of these things. We can't just do it, and if it don't work the first day, give it up. I'm sorry, that ain't gonna. Yeah. So we must be vigilant in changing our culture, our character, and crime will take care of itself. And one of the things we need to do, I hate to say this, ladies, I'm a black man too, but black men, if that woman won't let you see your child, she gives you hell, then we need to start a fund and deposit, anybody that's a father, deposit money into it. So anybody who wants to be a dad can get legal representation to take care of it, to have that relationship with their child. We need to do that, because this excuse about she won't let me see him, I'm sorry, she don't have, and I'll tell you something, and I was willing to do this. There are some things worth going to jail for. And that to me was one of the things worth going to jail for. I'm going to see my child. I'm going to see my boy, no matter what problems we got. I'm going to see my boy. Yeah. I know there were a couple of police cars came up and escorted me off the premises, because women often use children as a tool, and they see that, and so I don't get it. But and then they talk about the man ain't no, I don't know where he is. Well, you ran him off. You ran him off. I don't know any man that does not, any man that has a child and has ever held them in their arms, there is no way in the heebie-jeebies you can ignore him, because that's a relationship. It is better when you're in the same relationship. Absolutely. That's the way it was supposed to be. It don't always work out that. It don't always work out, but that's still not an excuse not to see your children. But I hear what you're saying. And I messed up a couple of times. No doubt about it. I have. I just, again, because I didn't have a father. My mother and father were here and there and there and there. And then there was another man here. I didn't know what that, I didn't even know what what natural looks like in a relationship between a man and a woman. I never saw it. I never saw it. The only time, if I wanted to see anything interesting about women and men and kids, I had to watch I Love Lucy. You know, I mean, Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. Oh, and Leave It to Beaver. You know, so that's how that's supposed to work out. Okay. So I'm just saying, Leave It to Beaver and I Love Lucy is the way I got my lesson on daddy and mommy. I didn't get it at home. Okay, all I got at home was a bunch of hell. And listen, people are their products of their environment, but you can't blame it forever. You can't blame it forever. You can't blame your environment forever. Let's say a woman is spiritually jealous of who? Even when a man does better when he leaves her and she uses the kids as a weapon. That's true. I agree with that. But anyway, I forget, man, it's after 9 o'clock. I didn't know that. But this is interesting. So that is why I am running for the city council. Okay? Crime, culture, and character. We need to not only change the environment for our city, but we need to figure out a way. And there's only so many things you can do. But I can show them how it's done with me. You know, and then I'm gonna let you go after this. I was going down the street one day, a couple weeks ago, going down Gibson Road, and I saw a bunch of young black male walk around cussing and hollering and with their pants all down on them. I turned around and said, well, what in the hell are y'all walking around looking like that? And I walked away from them. And I figured out halfway down the street, I did something wrong. I should have stopped. I should have stopped and talked to him. So what I did was I went down the street, bought them some Cokes and some potato chips, and sat there and talked with him for a while. And now, I told him why it was important. Okay. I told him why it was important that they don't walk around that way. I said, if a man robs a bank and he's wearing a suit, but nobody can remember what he looked like, if they ride down this street, you know who they're going to pick up first? The guy in the suit can be right next to you. They're going to pick you up because you look as the predefined young black male that they think you are. And so after we talked, and I'm telling you, it made an impact because when I see them now, they wave at me and they don't just, you know, and if they're slacking a little bit, they pull their pants up. That's changing the culture. But you got to talk to them, and that's true. And some won't listen. You can't help that, but you have to talk to them. When we see black kids, let's invite them somewhere. Let's invite them to a lunch or something like that, and sit down and talk to them. Okay, sit down and talk to them. That changes. That changes their whole mindset. May not keep it long, but for a moment, they've had the opportunity to hear what a man has to say and how they should act. Again, that's part of the culture, part of the character, and that right there is going to help change the crime in the city of Montgomery. I'm not saying it's an overnight fix, it's not. But if we can make one kid think for a moment and he don't use that gun, we have created, hopefully, a spiraling effect on his friends. I need to take all the stickers off. Why I want to do that for? It messes up the paint. Yeah, I don't care about the paint. But anyway, I guess that's my show for today. So that's why I'm running for District 3. I think I've articulated it well. And one man, again, I realize one man can't do it, but one man can make a difference in his community and in District 6 by showing them culture and character. And if you got that squared away, we will affect crime. We will affect crime. Can't put it all on the mayor. Can't put it all on the city councilman, but we do play a part. Because if we don't play a part, why are we there? Okay. So if we can't make a difference collectively and individually, why are we there? Okay. So remember those 3 words: culture, crime, and character. That is why I'm running for District 3. Okay. Because I think we just need a different way of doing things. Okay. ASF. Now I don't know what that means. But anyway, I gotta go. Go. Anyway, hopefully the good Lord said so. Oh, tomorrow's Catholic Day. We're gonna have the Catholic Zone for about a half hour or so, talking about Catholicism. And it's hard for me to get some Protestant preachers come on a regular basis. Just except my good friend. I can't never get a black one to come on. Okay. Somebody said Obama traumatized me so bad. I hate voting and refuse to vote. I know that sounds crazy. It does sound crazy. Obama traumatized me. He knew Michelle was a man. This is quite well, I haven't seen anybody prove that she's a man. So I don't know that. Okay. Kevin, you were part of the village through the mentoring of those young kids. And I have been mentoring them. For years, I rewarded kids if they followed the rules that I set to give them computers or any other help they may need. I did for 20-something years on Cumulus. Not only did I go talk to them, I gave them $500 worth of computers each year for those who were put in who did a great job in school. And I got an organization called YLC, Youth Leadership Corps. And our motto is home, school, community. It does no good to be good at home if you're not good in the community. It does no good to be good in the community if you're not good at home. Home, school, community. And if you're not good at school, if you're not good at home, and you're not good in the community, you're headed in the wrong way real fast. So what I tried to do then was show them there is a reward for doing the right thing. Okay. And it don't come fast. But believe me, there will be a reward for you doing the right thing. Even grown folks got to figure that one out sometimes. Me too, at some point in life. But anyway, I guess that's it. Did I give y'all the lessons of life today? Oh, okay. Well, here's the lesson of life today before I leave. And if you get this, you're as smart as I am. Okay. If you get this lesson of life today, you're as smart as I am. And then I'm going to give you some congratulations. Okay. I'm going to give you some congratulations. Okay. And here is the lesson of life. And for today. And let me get this on right quick because I got to go. Got to go. But anyway, this lesson of life for the 12th day of, what day is this? August 26th.
In the quiet of the moon,
You may have to think about this for a minute, but you'll get it. Okay? Trust me, you will.
in pure delight,
The same boiling water that softens the potato is the same boiling water that hardens the egg. It is not what it's what you're made of and not your circumstances. There are a lot of people in life that came up tough. They just caught hell right here in Montgomery. But because they look within themselves, introspect within themselves, they figure out what they wanted to do. And they do it again. The same boiling water that softens the potato hardens the egg. It is what you are made of, not your circumstances, that will determine your travel in life. Be a little tough. Be resilient. And cogitate often. Look that one up and you'll get it. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Thank you for listening. And tell your friends. I keep telling people to share this and all that. I keep forgetting that. Y'all just tell your friends. Because even if you don't like me, I want to hear from you. Maybe you got some great advice to change some of that character. some of that culture and some of that. Good morning to you. Have a great day.
Storms that rage in skies of blue. Each day I wake and I choose you in every heartbeat, in every prayer. Thankful for life and the love we share.